good to have you here. We've got some great advice coming up on the show today. If you're like me and the little one or ones came along, you stopped going out. I stopped going out for dinner 5 years ago to the day. So apparently that's not what we should be doing. We should be enjoying ourselves and our families and going out and enjoying the things that we used to do. Why not? So we're going to have some great tips on how to do exactly that, and where are the best places to take our kids to when we want to have a nice dinner out. So top baby places to dine. You know, life doesn't end for the parents once the kids are born. You don't have to give up all those things you used to love to do before you became a mom or a dad. So we've asked travel and lifestyle writer Yashi Murphy here to give us some tips on how to keep going, how to continue to have a life when the kids come by. This is not news to you because this is how you've lived your whole life, right?
Well, the whole life since having a baby, I guess.
Right. But even before you had kids, you were all over the world, living in so many different countries.
That's true. Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I grew up pretty much in the Middle East and South Asia, and my parents traveled and dined out with me quite a bit. And so once we had kids, my husband and I, we wanted to maintain our pre-baby lifestyle. So it was all a big social experiment initially, but I think we're kind of getting the hang of things. You know, nothing's ever perfect with kids, but there's definitely ways for us to maintain that lifestyle, still dine out, still travel around the world, just with young tots in tow, you know.
It's good for kids to learn how to behave in different settings, right?
Absolutely, because, you know, you want them to be part of your life. You want to go out and enjoy things, and I want my kids to be part of that too, and I'm sure you do as well.
That's right. Okay, so on your blog, you talk about this and a bunch of other things. Tell me about your blog.
So Baby in Life was born, I think about 2 weeks after my daughter was born. And
why did you find the time?
She was sleeping a lot. I wasn't. But it was to share the stories and what went wrong, what went right, and then it kind of evolved. We started noticing, hey, we're going out and kind of maintaining that lifestyle. We're still going out to restaurants. We're still traveling around the world. And we just picked up tips, and, you know, it was kind of my way to chronicle what we were doing. And so Baby in Life was born that way.
People can learn from your experience. Why do you think it's important that we do that?
You don't want to lose yourself once you have kids. You want to kind of better yourself, and you still want to hang out with your friends. You don't want to be the one that you go up and say, oh, she won't come out anymore. You know, that's it. She has kids. So it's healthy for all of us to, you know, be happy and do the things that we love.
Mm-hmm. So you've got some tips and tricks for how we can have fun in Toronto. For example, restaurants. Now that's tricky. Some people give you the evil eye when you walk in with your kid because they expect it's going to be noisy, they're going to misbehave, throw stuff. How do we keep our kids in line when we're in a restaurant?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got all looks. We've got strangers come up to us and say, your daughter is so well behaved. I didn't know there was a baby here. So, and then we've had experiences where we've had to walk out of the restaurant because, you know, she was just having an off day. But I think what's important is start at home. We sit down for dinner, and it's hard because, you know, your kids have dinner early, but just make a few minutes to sit down with them so that they get used to sitting at the table, you know, using their fingers, the cutlery, whatever they want to use, and that way they're ready for that stage when you go out.
When they're little babies and you're carting them around everywhere in their car seat, that's easy.
Absolutely.
And then when they're maybe 4, that time's easy. But the time between like 10 months and 3.5, how do you keep them in line?
It's tough, I'm not going to say no, but you kind of have your bag of tricks that you take with you, right? So when we go to restaurants, we've figured out our kids' schedule. And, you know, with an infant, it's easy because you go when they dine. When they sleep is when you dine out.
Right.
So I love restaurants such as Bannock, where they let you bring your little cart up to the table. And then you can, you know, enjoy your poutine pizza and your cocktail, but they're sleeping. And they're next to you. You don't have to wake them up or do anything that way.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, if it's a loud restaurant, that helps keep them asleep.
Exactly. And I'm a huge fan of Key. for that reason, because it's really upbeat and it's a Japanese fusion restaurant. And if the music's a bit loud, then you get to enjoy your meal and no one's going to hear her.
Is that your daughter?
That is.
Enjoy. It looks like she's sitting at the bar having a cocktail.
A little milk pint.
Yeah. Is that at a table?
That is. So that's actually at a booth at Key. And they were so nice. They got her little chopsticks and, she's just enjoying her sushi and making a mess, but you clean up after yourself.
That's right.
That's important.
Yeah, I think that's fair. If you're going to bring kids into a restaurant and they make a mess, I think the parents have to make some effort to clean it up, because that rice ends up all over the floor, right?
Yes, so definitely do that. Please.
Yes, because that makes good karma for the other parents.
They'll welcome you back.
Exactly. Where else do you like to go?
You know what? Toronto is a multicultural city with so many ethnic cuisines, and there are certain cultures that really encourage you to come out and bring your kids, bring the family, have a blast. And recently we were dining out at Paka, which is an Indian restaurant, and they actually made an effort to not only welcome us, but they brought our food pretty quickly. They make an effort.
And there they are. She's
Yep.
eating some naan or something.
Yeah, I think that's one of her papadums, which she's a huge fan of. So it just encourages them, to kind of be well behaved, or you can get them to eat, sample new foods.
Well, that's right. They're being exposed to so many great flavors.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So that's like 3 restaurants.
Yeah.
Any others?
I guess sampling new food, we dined out at Tabbouleh for the first time. So Middle Eastern cuisine. She hasn't had too much of that before, but again, they welcomed her. They brought some crayons out, and there she is. She's, I think she's trying the pickles, the little radishes that they get.
Now, did you bring your own Kinder Egg, or is that their thing?
That is mine, actually. I didn't even notice. That's one of my bag of tricks. I bring a little treat and say, behave, and you can get this at the end of the night.
You could have some incentive, right?
You do.
These are all great tips, and we can find lots of great tips on your website, right?
Absolutely, babyandlife.com.
There you go, babyandlife.com. Sherry and her live vicariously through her, or get some tips on how you and your own children can go out and enjoy the town. When we come back, Cooking with Small Town Food Company, we're doing salads, both the raw and the cooked. You can have it both ways.